Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So this is actually going to be part two of my brainstorming session on unique content. Just cleared some space from my phone. So the thing is, another thing I want to talk about, let's just start with gear, right? And then so here we have soul. Up here, I've really wanted to like change some gear, have that legendary speed crit set. But as you can see here, right, I only have 3 pieces of speed gear, and I have no crit gear, and I have no attack gear. So this is just a whole mess of a mistake. Luckily enough, I'm at a point right now where I mostly just farm some wyvern for more gold, and I'm moving towards late game, right? So I'm at that stage where gold is not that big of an issue. But for example, my 5 million gold, that's something I really want to save for like end game or no, for crafting necklaces, right? That gold will go straight down the drain, at least 5 to 10 mil gold, right? So that's something you want to keep in mind. You can never be too prepared when you're like switching gears and all that stuff because every piece of gear, right, on equipping is 50k, and 50k, you don't want to just waste that for no reason. So I didn't really prepare that well here because I wanted to switch it to speed gear. And one mistake was that I didn't have crit gear set up. So I do have this crit damage necklace they gave from the event, but I didn't fuse it and I wasn't ready to equip it on anybody. So that's mistake number one, is that crit damage necklace is the best, right? I've seen people use rare crit damage necklaces with like one decent substat, and that will carry them all the way to champion. So of course 85 is better. And right now we have the equip system, so you'll probably get, one main stat with crit damage, every few weeks farming Wyvern, but that's definitely good. Right, we have some Ken gear here. So crit chance, crit damage, crit chance attack. Those two substats aren't that effective. They're good for beginners, but once you realize how much investment and how much resources you put into enhancing the gear, that will definitely slow down your progression. So it's kind of a paradox there. It's good for beginners because it gives you a good piece of gear to get going, but it also slows you down, right? There's a trade-off. You put on a decent piece of gear, you could have saved that for enhancing a good piece of gear. So I don't know what I think, like you really have to, we're limited by stamina, so you really have to save up those fodder materials in order to get a decent piece of gear in the future. And you don't really want to waste that at all. And so my progress, right? My biggest mistake, I didn't have a crit set ready. Another one is that I didn't have a speed set ready. So I rushed into it a little bit. I'm almost there, but I was over eager and I kind of messed up. So right now my soul, for example, has no set effect, which is just ridiculous. Right, that's not good at all. And another thing I want to talk about in terms of gear is that there's that new progression quest. Um, that's here. You can see that in the oh, where did the progress? It was right here. And you can see that there's a new piece of gear that you got here from clearing or for promoting a hero to 6 stars. So the attack gear I have all on my Vildred, and it does have some good substats and everything, but apparently it's not ideal gear for him, which was definitely a bummer to find out for me. So he scales off of speed, so it's a good excuse to go speed on him. And you see these stats, like they're okay. I don't like he's pretty fast for attack gear. Uh, and this one rolled pretty well actually. But at the end of the day, you really want speed gear so that he can attack faster, and he can attack multiple times. So that was another small mistake. Okay. Another thing I want to tell you guys about was, let's say, an arena, right? So you're climbing, you're a gold or you're a master, where you're actually, when you're facing some difficulty. So while you're farming, like whether an 11 gear or golem gear, whatever gear you're hunting for, one issue is that don't be like, so Dizzy is the meta right now, and so right now it's important not to, right? You see a comp, oh, this is gonna be easy. I'm gonna beat it like so easily. Don't be fooled by specific comps. So I was fighting, let's say a comp like this one with Shadow Rose, Dizzy, another CR pusher, maybe something like Shuri, uh, or something, a CR pusher that I couldn't kill, like C Domini. So I thought it would be easy because I beat that on a hard tournament and there was a Ruel there. But the problem is that Dizzy can really, a fast Dizzy with the right artifact can really stun log and push your team back and constantly have them on attack down buff. So definitely be careful of that unless you got like a perfect cleansing team. Right, so be wary of those comps for sure. All right. And lastly, I think it's just to make good use of your resources. So right now my Wyvern 11 team actually uses Ken. Uh, this is my Wyvern 11 team. So because of Dizzy, we were able to really, like Wyvern 11 is a lot easier to tank. And so for example, right now what I'm doing is I'm using Ken for it because he's a decent defense breaker. Even though like he pushes the runs back, I'm using Dizzy, even though that makes the run slow, it makes it so that I can actually tank Wyvern 11, right? Without Dizzy, my clear percentage would be somewhere like 10%. And so I think it's really important to make use of units that you can use in all content. So make sure to like get those units and then make sure to invest in those even though they might not be ideal for the current content you're using, you can use that somewhere else. So for example, I'm using Ken for Wyvern 11 and not only do I like Ken, I can also just switch that very quickly to my Golem team, which I don't have set up right now. Oh, something like this, but I can just switch it up to my Golem team, which will have Ken in the front. And then, right, I'll replace Angelica and maybe Luna for a fire unit, and then it can just go again. So I don't have to, invest in another fire unit or anything like that. So another example of this is using F Flurry as defense break for Golem, but also for Banshee as well. So definitely like make use of that. I know it's not an elemental, it's an elemental disadvantage, but definitely like do things like that in order to help yourself progress more in the game. All right, that's my advice for now. If you guys enjoyed that, let me know what you guys want to see in the future in the comments section. Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.